Welcome to the Liberated Feminine Podcast. I'm Lucy Lampy, your host, and in today's episode, we're exploring gifts of the dark feminine. Now, in a previous episode, I discussed the specific gift of seduction. And if you missed that, I definitely recommend going back and checking that out. But I'm not going to go super deep into that. This is more of an overtone, a summary of what the dark feminine is, first of all, and what the gifts are. Some of the shadows that we can transmute and alchemize into these really beautiful, powerful, life-changing gifts in our lives. To start, let's explore the dark feminine herself. Because there is a lot of confusion and a lot of distortion around what the dark feminine is, what she represents. And if any of this speaks to you, then I highly recommend looking into perhaps working with dark goddess energy. The few that I have worked the most intimately with have been Lilith, Kali, and Hecate. And what's interesting about each and every one of these dark goddesses, now there are so many. I have a PDF guide on this that I have provided in past workshops and that I share with my participants in my retreats. However, the big thing to know that I want to emphasize in this episode is that when a particular dark goddess archetype is calling to you, there are traits within her that this part, that something in you is wanting to, like, oh yes, this is me, this is a part of me that I have abandoned, that I have rejected, that I have villainized or demonized or seen as bad. And so this is really deep shadow work. This is really powerful work. So just wanted to put that out there because working with dark goddesses, there are infinite ways to do that. But first seeing, which one is really calling to you. And perhaps I will go more into even just those three in another episode. So stay tuned for that. All right. So the dark feminine is alchemy, liberation, primordial power, embodied eros, death and rebirth, unfiltered truth. It's your ancient remembrance, your intensity that you channel with purpose. It's your magnetism, your seduction, the pulse of aliveness itself. The true dark feminine, in its full power, is rooted in love, and it operates by deep, deep truth. And I'm not talking little t truth, like lowercase t truth. That is, let's say our wounded ego or just our wounds, our pains, our traumas, speaking honestly and authentically. But that's not the deep, deep truth of your womb, the truth of your soul. I'm talking about that place that is unshakable, unfuckwithable, that truth. And what working with dark goddess energy or dark feminine energy will really do for you is purify you. The dark feminine is purification. I think really more than anything, it's purification. Because whether it's the dying away of what no longer serves you or the exposing, the confronting of the lies and the illusion and the distortions, there's so much destruction, right? But in service to love. And she clears the way and tills the soil for the seeds to be planted. Those seeds of life, those seeds of love, those seeds of purpose and vision, those seeds of truth. And she will do whatever the fuck it takes to bring you to that place. She is ruthless in that way. But remember, all in service to love, which is a wildly different energy than someone, being a wildfire, an emotional storm for the sake of helping their ego feel better. And here's the thing too about that is that that part of us needs space to exist and filter through the purification process. So very practically speaking, this can look like having a space for yourself on a consistent basis, on a daily basis, where you can just drop into your heart and get into those uncomfortable, dense, darker feeling emotions and just be with it. Learn to be with it. Learn to, welcome that experience and trust that emotional storm or that intense feeling will not last forever. Ride it out like a wave. And allow the ego part of you, the fearful part of you, the part that's wanting to self-protect and just survive, right? Just make it through this fucking thing. Allow that part of you to have a voice. Now, for me, I personally love speaking it out loud or having just a verbal, audible medium where I can feel the vibrations of my vocal cords. And if I need to say fuck you to something, or fuck you to a situation, or to something that I remembered about someone that I did in the past that really hurt, to give that space, to allow myself to take up space, but in a place and in a way, in a fashion that will not create more collateral damage on the people that I love. And when we don't do this, what ends up happening is that all of this stuff leaks, it spills or explodes out onto the people that we care about the most. And that creates a lot more collateral damage, a lot more emotional pain, broken trust, and all of these things. When that happens, are opportunities to repair and deepen intimacy. And also there are some of these outbursts that we can avoid, some unnecessary drama and pain and chaos that we can avoid by creating space for ourselves to sift through all of the bullshit and let the dark goddess, or just this dark feminine power flowing through us, to purify us of our fear and get down beneath in that eye of the storm, that still knowing of, okay, this is the truth. Yes, my feelings are real. Yes, I have this wound. Yes, it was triggered by whatever someone else did or said or didn't do or say. And the deeper soul truth beneath that, what is that? What is it that I'm choosing in this? What is it that I'm not seeing? What is it that I'm missing? And allowing that to be revealed to you. And that is that womb space of consciousness that you go into very intentionally, and you allow yourself to be purified. And sometimes purification is a fucking painful, uncomfortable process. Now, the distorted feminine, of course, she is glorified because she's so much more catering to our ego, right? The distorted dark feminine is largely about, things like manipulation, coercion, control, mind games, emotional steamrolling, and egocentric tantrums. And there is, again, such a deeply felt difference between the two. We're talking integrated dark feminine versus this scattered, distorted, just, when things are distorted, right? Like you look through a kaleidoscope where the glass is just broken and things are just off. And you're like, this isn't quite it. It kind of looks like it could be right, but it's not quite it. And when you allow yourself to be purified in that sacred space, at your altar of love, in your daily ritual space, your meditation, your prayer, your movement, your self-pleasure practice, whatever it is that you're doing, your communion with spirit guides, ancestors, however that looks for you, this is such an important piece that I really want to emphasize, that I cannot emphasize enough. It is so necessary to be able to access, especially these more hidden gifts of the dark feminine. So let's get into a little bit of each of these four. The first one is alchemizing envy into soul activation. Or in other words, sometimes we might experience this as inspiration. Envy as in, oh, I want what she has. Oh, how does she be confident like that? How does she feel so erotic in her skin? How does she move like that? How does she exude such radiance? I want that. But to let that, oh, I want what she has, be purified and, just all of the stuff sifted away so that it becomes this, oh, and that exists in me too. I just haven't accessed it. I haven't met that part of me yet. Not really. Maybe I've looked at her and I'm like, I don't know. That's a little scary. That's vulnerable. People might not like it if I embody that part of me. People might feel threatened. People might feel jealous. People might throw me some evil eye or whatever bullshit, So I don't know that I want to be that. But I'll just be over here envious of this person having it. So when we allow this dark feminine loving, just force to dissolve away all of the shadow, little murky, clingy parts of that, what's left is this really compelling activation of this part of you. That's like, fuck it, we ball. Fuck it, I'm getting on that pole. You know what I'm saying? And I love specifically for that, especially now that I'm preparing to release my pole course. I'm so excited because I've seen over the past 5+ years that I've been pole dancing, so many women just excited to get into it because they think, you know what? I was scared of being judged for this. I was scared of being misunderstood or being, called whatever, or seen as a bad mom or an irresponsible woman or someone who's asking for it. And now I'm just going to fucking do it because there's something there just like calling to me. Oh, okay. So that's one of the gifts of the dark feminine. The second one is, okay, now bear with me on this because all my Scorpio is like, oh, this is a sticky one. Okay. Number 2, alchemizing obsession into devotion. Now, I got no qualms against obsession. But what I'm talking about when I say obsession, it's like this, let's say the typical distorted view or understanding of obsession. It's like, I have to have this, and if I don't have it, I just can't. I can't continue. Like I need it. And so it's again sifting through the shadows of that without getting super in depth into this, because this is literally a whole coaching session here, or a part of a whole workshop and a retreat or an event. Okay, so but really sifting through these different layers and allowing yourself to be purified of the fearful aspects of it, the parts that are coming from wounding, and coming down to this beautifully distilled devotion. Because at the end of the day, your obsessiveness, or in other words, your, let's say your fixation, your ability to go deep into something, your willingness to let yourself be consumed, which is fucking courageous. All right? Your willingness to be consumed by the bigness of something. Really, and at the purified, form of it is this courage to let yourself be consumed by love. And revealing this deep devotion to walking that path of love, to letting it guide you. Again, no matter what needs to be shed, ripped away, torn down, and rebuilt again. That devotion. That is oh my God, this is a huge, powerful gift of the dark feminine. Another gift is transforming or transmuting manipulation into seduction. Now, I won't go very deep in this at all because I did have a whole episode just on seduction, but what I want to emphasize here is that manipulation has these undertones of, hey, I'm gonna make you be or do what I want, no matter what your vision is for your life, no matter what it is that you really need or want. It's really about, how can I get what I want or what I need? Whereas seduction is a playful invitation. It is a mutually beneficial exchange. It's a come hither, like, hey, like, do you like this? Do you see this? And do you like what you see? And if so, then there's something in this for you. There's something calling you. There's something seducing you that's activating some part of you that you like this, you want this. And so I'm not, non-consensually talking you into something or coercing you into something or tricking you into it. It's out there. It's like, here, if you like what you see, like, come here, let's play this game. So that's definitely a really yummy gift of the dark feminine. It's so fun. It's so delicious. And now a fourth gift of the dark feminine is alchemizing this hyper independence into a space of wholeness and integrity. Now, let's think about this. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. Why do we become hyper independent? And by hyper independent, I mean, I got me, I don't need anybody, I'll do it all myself. I choose not to receive. I don't need help. I don't need support. It's so much safer for our egos to live under this illusion that we don't need anybody. And as I mentioned in the episode before this one about healthy relationship, there is a time and a place for coping mechanisms, because there will be times where you will not have your needs met by other human beings. And ultimately, this is about resourcing from the source. But also, other people are reflections and glimmers and little microcosms of source. And we're meant to experience love and experience source through each other. So when we cut that off and we say, no, I don't need it, I don't want it, or that's too vulnerable, I don't want anybody to really see who I really am, because what if they reject me? What if they see who I am? And they're like, oh, what's wrong with you? You're broken. You're fucked up. But when we can distill that and sift and be purified, what we then have is our wholeness. And when we have our wholeness, we have our integrity. Integrity, to integrate, to be an integral. The foundation is all there. The pieces are there. If a car is missing a wheel, it can't drive. It doesn't matter how expensive it is and how beautiful it looks and how powerful the engine is. If it doesn't have that fourth wheel, it's not in integrity. You can have all of the things in the external. You could have mastered all of the distorted dark feminine qualities and be able to get whatever you want from any man, anytime, and still lack that wholeness that your heart and your soul are here for. That's the wholeness of you. And so when we shift or we alchemize this tendency to lean towards hyper-independence and not let anyone in. And when we recognize, in sifting through that, we recognize our wholeness, our inherent wholeness and radiance and perfection in that, then we are able to let others in. We're able to let others see us and say, hey, this is the wholeness of who I am. And here's these parts of me that they're not super glam. They're not particularly, pretty. They're kind of messy and like just wild and here's my chaos, and here's my pain, and here's my trauma, and here I am whole in all of it, with all of it, not despite it, but with it. And allowing that to be loved, because we know that we're not inherently broken or fucked up. And so this is one of the most, I would say, transformational to our everyday life gifts of the dark feminine. Because when we let her really love on us, the dark goddess, or whichever archetype you may be working with, but just dark goddess, just that. You let her love all these parts of you that seem unlovable, and you let her show you how much love is there, how much love exists in those parts of you. Oh, that is radically life-changing. So in this, I'd like to extend an invitation for anyone who wants to explore more of the dark feminine embodiment, exploration, connection, channeling, all of that really delicious, powerful stuff in real life within the context of sisterhood. I am going to be hosting one more women's retreat this year. It's going to be May 12th through the 18th here in Ecuador, and we're going to be in the Amazon, the Ecuadorian Amazon in the rainforest. We'll also be amongst the Andes here. So the whole week is about rewilding, connecting with this dark feminine power, reclaiming your light, and doing all of this within the context of sisterhood. Talk about some powerful healing. So this will be my only retreat, my last retreat that I'm planning for the remainder of 2025, since I am having a baby in August. And this will, this is the last chance, y'all. Currently, at the time of recording this episode, I have 2 more spots available at 50% off for the early bird. So go to lucylampy.com to check out more details on the Wild Arrows Amazon Experience Retreat. And of course, any other offerings, coaching, mentorship, courses, including my upcoming pole dance course, will all be there at lucylampy.com. Thanks for tuning into this episode. And until next time, here's to liberating your wild feminine heart.
Bring the boom, I bring the bass, give me a taste, they me the waste, I'm your little plaything. I got the feeling this original scene's gonna take me way deep. Are you afraid? Will you run away, run away, run? Don't run away, run away, run. 'Cause once I